If you hear me!
What's happening, good people, and welcome back to another episode of Holla, if you hear me's Roundtable. The moment you've all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, the highlight of the week. Yes, it is me, your humble host, Fraz. Joining me, as always, is the kayfabe assassin, Mr. Andi Nero, and the ring historian, Dirty Dave. Gentlemen, how are we both? We all good? All feeling it? Got fantastic subject for this week. I'm so glad that Andy has given me a quick response. As if you haven't already noticed, they're very I don't know, some may say they're smoking weed. They're so delayed in their reactions. Dave hasn't even told me how he's feeling yet.
Oh, I haven't had a chance to talk yet.
Bloody hell, here we go, look. Let's start off the show as we mean to crack on, eh?
I'm ready for war. Come on, let's get it on.
He's ready for war. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you, this won't be 59 minutes and 38 seconds like last week. Because this week's subject is fantasy booking. Andy Nero and Dirty Dave are going to fantasy book their road to WrestleMania 42. Yes, you heard me right. The rules are simple. I want you to tell me who your Royal Rumble winner is, men and women. And then I want you to tell me the main event, so who they're going to pick and who's going to be champion at the time. I'd also like you to possibly pick the other main event and any shock returns, any notable matches, feuds that you see for next year. Do you want time limits? Do you want to discuss your Rumble picks first and alternate? I think that might be best rather than one of you talk for 10-15 minutes. I'll get fucking bored. Andy, let's go first. Who's your men's Rumble winner and your women's?
Men's and women's.
Yes.
Okay, I think we all know that it's more than likely going to be Sami Zayn going over in the men's women's Rumble.
Men's women's.
Men's women's Rumble. Men's Royal Rumble. I think that's pretty much a lock for Saudi. They wouldn't be doing a Saudi show if it wasn't. So there we go. Whether we like it or not, whether he wants to win or not. Do you want me to say the women's as well?
Yeah, go on, do the women's.
Women's. Do you know, I'd really like to see everyone's favourite blonde come back from injury and win the Royal Rumble. Liv.
Interesting.
They're my picks.
Dave.
Whoa. Well, I've sort of muddled mine. I'm really struggling to pick my men. But I think the two people I've got are either going to win the Rumble or win the Chamber. So I think for me, it's either going to be Braun Breaker or it's going to be Roman Reigns, and they are going to win the Rumble or the Chamber. I'm not sure which one.
Okay, ladies.
Liv Morgan is coming back, and she's going to win the Rumble. If not, Rhea Ripley. Okay. And again, that's the same with the Chamber. So those two are winning the Rumble and the Chamber. I'm not sure which one.
Makes it very difficult for you to then pick your main event for WrestleMania.
No, easy.
Who?
What, do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
So it'll either be Reigns or Braun versus Seth or Cody. So say for example the Vision are breaking up, then you can have Braun versus Seth. If the Vision is still tight, you can have Braun versus Cody, and they could potentially win 2 titles. And then Reigns could fight Seth. So it just depends. So Reigns will either fight Cody or Reigns will fight Seth. It just depends on how the Vision storyline goes. So you just flip them around.
And are they your main events for night 1 and 2? Or do you foresee one being a opening match like it has done for the last couple of years?
I think that they could, if they're done like that, they could be the 2 main event. It depends. Braun versus Cody could go early. Reigns versus Seth could go last. But I'd probably see them both as main events. And then if you flip it around, Braun versus Seth, That should be night one main event, shouldn't it? And then Reigns versus Cody.
Yeah.
But I think we need a Reigns Seth payoff. You know, this is 15 years. So I don't want the Vision to break up just yet. I would love Reigns to beat Seth, because he's done nothing since the Bloodline, and I think we need to rejuvenate Reigns before his career starts to tick over. And then Braun somehow manage. Let's say he beats Cody, and then the storyline coming out of WrestleMania is, oh dear, Seth's lost the title, but Braun's won one, so Braun's position in the Vision is up, and then all of a sudden we've got a new Randy Orton versus Triple H type scenario to take us into next year and facilitate the breakup of the Vision.
Agreed, totally. However, I do, I side with Andy on the Rumble. I think that Sammy's going to win. And I think it'll be Sammy versus Cody.
Do you know what I did?
And I do feel that will be Sammy turning heel, and he'll beat Cody being a heel. And I think that it'll be Seth and Roman Reigns main event Sunday night. That'll be the big one, the huge path we wanted. But I do think that Sammy will win the Rumble, and I do think he'll beat Cody Rhodes for the title. I can't see anyone taking it possibly, or unless they decide to keep Sammy as face and Drew as the champ, or someone's a face like Jay as the champ. Maybe you could do Jay versus Sammy. Would be pretty fucking ridiculous.
I can totally see that. I can see Sammy winning. But
I can't.
After watching Unreal and how they pivoted off Cena and Punk at the last minute and went with Jay. And Hunter says, sometimes you don't do what's obvious. So, I don't know. So, yeah, it might still change my prediction. He might win the Chamber. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think the creative booking team have got anything to do with how that Rumble is going to be booked. I think that comes down to what the Saudi Prince says,
maybe
what they want, and that's that. I don't think I actually mentioned who I thought he was going to face. I agree with you, Farrad. I think it's
well, no, I was coming on to that, bruv. I was coming on to you, but you were typing and editing videos, so I didn't want to disturb you.
I'm sort of making my notes for everything else that's going on as well. So.
I see. Well, I will just say, before we move on to you, Andy, and who you think your main events, I do think it's a little early for Braun to be winning anything like that.
Depends how the storyline goes.
Yeah, I mean, if the Vision break up, it makes perfect sense for Braun to face Seth Rollins, but I just do not see that happening.
But then he can win the Rumble. I mean, he can be dominant. Like a couple of weeks ago on Raw, he looked like a main eventer, and this week on Raw, he's in the main event. I don't know. You could pull the trigger, or he could fight Cody the night. No, because it'd be the night before, wouldn't it? Reigns and Seth would be on night 2. Yeah, I don't know. I
just think there's too many loose ends to tie stories up, if you know what I mean. You know, the whole Jay and Cody, or Seth and Cody, or Roman and Cody. Braun and Cody's new. There's been no interaction between the two. The only person Braun is fighting is Seth Rollins if it's a WrestleMania match. But we've taken up too much of the time, and Andy needs to give us his main event picks for WrestleMania 42. So if you're saying Sami Zayn, who you're saying he's fighting?
I'm agreeing with you. It's Cody. I think Sami's going to face Cody as a heel. I think he'll have a match or something at a Chamber with Cody as his teammate or something. Do you know what I mean? Like he'll take on the Vision or something stupid like that, or Logan will turn up again. And I think he'll turn on Cody and turn heel. I think Liv will be challenging, cashing in on Roxanne. I think Roxy will win the Women's World title before the year is out, possibly at the Rumble, possibly at the Chamber, and then they can build to a really, really cool WrestleMania match between those two. I think the winner of the Chamber, if I may, will be one CM Punk, and he will be facing Seth Rollins on the main event of night 2. And the Women's Chamber will be Bianca, and she'll be facing Jade Cargill. I think Jade's going to win the title before the year's out. Okay. I think Bianca will have come back by then, and I think it'll be Bianca turning heel on Jade and being the heel going forward. And I think she'll probably beat Jade at Mania. So I have got another match booked, but I don't want to mention it just yet.
No, well, I just wanted you to answer, who do you think is going to win, Seth or Cody, then, in your main event?
Sammy and Cody. I think
Sammy and
wins.
Cody, sorry.
In the other match, I think Seth wins. I think Seth beats Punk.
Really?
Again.
That's very interesting, considering Punk needs that title for longer than a day. Or, well, not even a day, was it? 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, 5 minutes, 13
Well,
or 12
that's
seconds.
why I've got this other match booked. So
Yeah, okay. So, Dave.
What, women?
Women, yes, please.
Yeah, so Liv Morgan versus Roxy.
Okay.
Yeah, and I see Rhea winning the Chamber and facing Jade Cargill.
Rhea winning the Chamber facing Jade Cargill. Beast versus Beast. Surprised that neither of you have said Stephanie Vaquer.
Don't think that's got WrestleMania written on it yet.
I can see her with an IC title or a US title first.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Dave, I'll move to you. If someone in the past is going to come back a shock return, who do you think it would be? Just it can be a guest appearance as a referee. It can be in a match. It can be as a return to part time, maybe.
Oh God, do you know what? I've got absolutely no idea. They don't really do that very often. Obviously, we had the Avengers Endgame at WrestleMania 40, but other than that, we don't tend to get anyone coming back. I mean, I still think we need one more run from Chris Jericho. But you know, he's Mr. AEW and he bless him. So, and that's fine.
Well, there's been rumours this week on X that I've read that he. And who was it? Was it Dave Meltzer, maybe, in his podcast, was talking about Jericho is at a point now where he's financially set. He's all about the wrestling. There's still stuff that he could do in WWE. I think he's still on quite good terms with WWE. You know, that could be a real possibility. I'm surprised you didn't say Stone Cold, though.
Just been let down twice now with that one. So I don't know. I don't know where we're going with that. He says he wants to do something. You know, it'd be great to see him fight Punk, but Punk's not a baddie at the moment. And yeah, 40. He let us down at 40, and he let us down at 41. So I don't know.
Okay.
Well, don't forget, at 41, he was supposed to be the referee of something, but it just didn't work out that way. They didn't want him to be the referee of something.
Still rubbish, isn't it? I mean,
well up for doing something.
Special referee against Bron Breakker and Drew McIntyre. Wasn't
I mean, it is back.
Damien Priest, wasn't it?
Damien Priest, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, it is back in Vegas, which gives you a chance because he lives there. So, I mean, who knows? Austin versus Brock. He might finally get it. He might find. I mean, he won't be able to take a suplex, but it'd be a street fight. You know, I mean, it's doable. Brock is safe.
Yeah.
He doesn't look safe because he's so good at being safe that he doesn't look it. But that could finally happen. Imagine that, the match that drove Austin out of WWE
Brings him back.
Is the match that brings him back. Yeah, and he does lose. So
Andy?
One person to come back.
Yeah.
The final boss. I think this is the year we get Roman and Rock.
Okay. Is that your other notable feud?
That's my second non main event, but my actual notable feud is different. So.
Okay. Well, why don't you give us that then? So you think Rock's going to surprise us?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go back to what I said before. I don't think Punk beats Seth. I think it's important that he doesn't, because I think it goes to what we said in another video tonight. I think Money in the Bank's going back to a match at WrestleMania. And I think it's going to be 1-by-1 Bron Breakker. And I think the Raw after Mania, he's going to cash in on Seth. I think that would be the coolest way of doing it. Break up the vision. You can sow the seeds of doubt within the vision long before you start at Rumble.
Well, they've already started, haven't they, really?
Yeah, exactly. But, really hammer it in, that Bron is surpassed Seth in every way, or in certain ways, and have him win Money in the Bank, and then cash in on Seth the night after Mania. That's the way I'd do it. And then Punk and him can maybe feud. Him and Seth can feud. He can, do something. But I think.
Oh my God!
Roman,
what about?
Go on.
Sorry, just quickly. What about if Seth has been, dismantled by Punk in their WrestleMania match? So he's like hurt, but he'd managed to win. Goes to Raw the next night, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the champ, and you're the Money in the Bank winner. So to protect me because I'm hurt and all this sort of stuff." Braun turns on him and beats him for the title, and Seth, out of desperation, as the storyline progresses, has to turn to CM Punk, and you have like Seth and CM Punk versus Braun and Big Bronson Reed in like a tag match, and then they have like a bit of a feud thing going. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe.
So maybe I'm being stupid here, but what was your notable match for WrestleMania then? Are you saying that
Money in the Bank?
So you think the Money in the Bank match will be on at WrestleMania 42?
I hope so, and I want Braun to win it. I think
that'd be good.
It's the perfect place to sort of buck that trend, get Braun a notable win on the biggest show of the year, and build towards 2026 being his year.
Well, before I move on to Dave, I will just say that I would too love that to happen, Money in the Bank at WrestleMania as a match as opposed to a PLE. And have it happen. Have LA Knight win. You heard it here first, folks. Fraz Youssef has given his seal of approval on LA Knight winning the Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. Big moment for him. Wins it. And then fucking loses it. Cashes in and loses against Sami Zayn, who's beaten Cody Rhodes.
I think like Damien Sandow.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Or a Baron Corbin sort of arrangement.
Baron Corbin,
yeah. Okay, Dave. We've had your potential shock return or someone to return. What about your other notable feuds at WrestleMania?
Well, I'd sort of only really worked on the main events, so I've got to probably echo the fact that I would love, the Money in the Bank. So I know that sounds like a bit of a cop-out, but to be fair, that came from a show that we recorded earlier. And I think a women's Money in the Bank and a men's Money in the Bank, one on each night, would be fantastic to give people, again, a notable victory. So I'd take both of those matches, to be honest. I'm interested to see where Solo goes and to see what happens with Jacob Fatu, because apparently Jacob Fatu and Braun Breaker are the future. So I don't know. We could see Jacob in a big storyline, but I'm not sure who's a good enough baddie for him to fight at the moment that sort of suits him. I would like to see him doing something really good at WrestleMania, but I'm not sure what I see. I mean, he beat LA Knight last year. If he stays as a face, who's a big enough heel for him to fight? Drew? But is Drew versus Jacob a marquee Mania match? I don't know if on paper it doesn't look like it. I don't know. I'd be interested to see how it goes. But I would like to see something big from Jacob.
Okay. I'm going to shout a few that I thought of. I would love to see, and these are not necessarily like massive fucking feuds, but I'd like to see a payoff between Dom and Finn. I'd like to see, I think we spoke about it on the last video, Drew and Damian Priest. And I'd like to see, if he can get back and he can get cleared, I'd like to see Randy versus Kevin Owens.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Randy versus Jacob.
Yeah. Randy versus Jacob Fatu. I don't know.
Randy could turn heel.
Randy and Cody is another one that could happen. If Sammy doesn't win the Rumble, I thought Randy would be my second pick to set up that Randy and Cody thing.
Make him another 3-time Rumble winner as well.
Yeah. And I'd love to see Bayley in the main event scene, in the other women's match. Against someone, either as the champ or against someone. Maybe in a triple threat or a fatal 4-way. And Rhea Ripley taking the pin. That would be awesome. Or Stephanie Vaquer. I'm not bothered either way. Any other surprises or shocks or feuds that you see along the way that you thought of off the cuff or predetermined?
I can't think of any for me off the top of my head. I kind of echo your sentiment with regards to things like Dom and Finn.
Can they string that out to Mania?
Well, I mean, they've strung it out long enough, haven't they?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think we're in this little lull period at the moment in between SummerSlam and Survivor Series where everybody's off doing films or everybody's off doing other things. So it's all a bit disjointed at the minute. I think, come build up to Survivor Series and onwards, I mean, we'll be able to probably make more sense of it.
Yeah, 100%.
I'd also say that you've got to probably assume that next Mania is probably going to be AJ Styles' last Mania.
Oh, that's a good point.
So what does he do at Mania? You've got a few people coming up that are going to be of that similar age to getting towards retirement.
Fight Shawn Michaels.
Could fight Ric Flair.
Him and Penta would be good.
Him and Penta would be good. Him and Penta and Phoenix, yeah. Or
putting them
Fraser.
over, maybe.
Nathan Fraser.
Yeah.
Split
there's
Fraser away
lots
from
of
Axiom, so
there's lots of options, isn't there?
well,
Definitely.
that might happen as well.
Carmelo
actually,
Hayes.
I think between now and the end of the year, I think Nathan Fraser and Axiom are going to split. I think Nathan Fraser is better than Axiom in every possible way, and needs to spread out on his own. Possibly join up with Seth. Be his fourth man. I think that would be a pretty cool way of doing it, but
Maybe.
I'd like to see that.
Anything else, Dave?
No, no, I'm not sure where we're going. You think the Wyatts, what's going to happen with them? What's going to happen with LA Knight? What's going to happen with Jacob Fatu? What's going to happen with Drew? What's going to happen with Priest? The Judgment Day. There's so much on the table. It's just how long it lasts. And, WrestleMania isn't always, very rarely is the end of a story. It's usually the start of one. So be interesting to see where these storylines are come the end of the year. But there's definitely potential. Yeah, AJ needs a big match. That'd be good. Chris Jericho rematch from WrestleMania 32, maybe. But yeah, no, it's too early for me. It's too early. I just don't know what way.
Well, remember the whole point of this was fantasy books. So whatever you like, it's not necessarily. It doesn't have to make fucking sense. I mean, it could be that Rick Steiner comes back with Scott Steiner and they feud with Bron Breakker.
When you say come back, do you mean they left? Oh shit! What have I been watching?
Yeah, Jesus Christ! Come
WCW Saturday Night, is that not live?
Yeah, no. Steinerized is no longer in existence, my friend. Steinerized. Okay, well, I mean, if that is it from you two, it's a very dull WrestleMania, I must say. I mean, I thought there'd be some electric chair matches. I thought there'd be some hair versus hair matches.
Hang on.
I thought we might see a shock return by Vince McMahon.
Hang on. We've got The Rock coming back. We've got Chris Jericho coming back. We've got Sammy, Braun, Seth, Cody, Punk, Reigns. We've got Money in the Banks. We've got a ton of feuds that could all still happen. We've got Liv Morgan coming back. What more do you need? What more do you need?
Yeah, hair versus hair, Vince McMahon coming back. Vince versus Bruce Pritchard.
Vince versus Donald Trump, because he
neither of them have their own hair, so yeah.
That's a good point.
Got to be a quick end to the match then. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in for another episode of the Roundtable for Dave and Andy's Fantasy Road to WrestleMania 42. Like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe. We post weekly wrestling content that you will salivate over. Now, please leave your comments. If there's a view or a hot take that you've got or a question you'd like us to discuss on the next Roundtable, feel free to drop it in the comments. Until next time, ladies and gents, adios, amigos. Up the dirty fucking Dom. Up the dirty Dom. Greatest Mysterio of all time.